Welcome back to my blog, stampwithelaine.com. Today we're going to be tackling gift tags. So my main aim for today's video is to show you, using different sets, what you can achieve. So it's just a little taster. The sets I'm going to be using, I showed you the very merry tags before, but there's also this set called Tag It, and the one that I like in particular is this Christmas one with Father Christmas on it. And last but not least is this one with Best of Christmas. So you can use these as images for your tags as well. The most efficient way of getting the maximum use out of your cardstock is by laying it out like this. Now this is actually half a piece of 12 by 12, so I've cut it 6 by 12, and it just fits across the magnetic platform which is underneath there. I've got my standard cutting plate underneath, and I'm just mapping it out like this. Now you'll find sometimes that the magnetic field polarizes, and when you're trying to put for instance these little holes, that it won't stay put, it will keep popping around. So the best way around it is to just use washi tape and stick it down so that it will stay in place. So I've got it all in place. I've made my sandwich, so there's the base cutting plate, my cardstock, the dies, and then the top cutting plate, and I'm ready to run it through the Big Shot. Then you want to cut sort of 2-inch strips of Whisper white cardstock or very vanilla cardstock, so that it's easy for you to stamp and punch. To begin with, I'm going to be using this set called Very Merry Tags. And we're using the Bah Humbug. And you can stamp several, but I'm going to, for videoing purposes, I'm only going to stamp the one, and that's in Real Red. Then with the Cherry Cobbler, I'm going to stamp the Christmas ornament. The Got Mistletoe, I'll stamp in Always Artichoke. And we need the large oval punch, which is 2 inches by 1 3 inches. So we'll punch that out. And then we need the Modern Mosaic punch to punch out the ornament. And I think this is called the Artisan Label, to punch out the Bah Humbug. Next, I stamped this little sentiment to and from on the base of the tag in Always Artichoke, and then you just pop a dimensional on the side. Oh, I've got that upside down. And then just that makes just a nice simple tag. They don't have to be complicated, because if you're making lots, you want to keep them as simple as possible. You can add some washi tape if you wish. Wrap that round. And that's one of the tags finished. For this one, I'm going to stamp in white craft ink with the Warmth and Wonder Hostess set. I'm going to be using this little star. Randomly stamp the snowflake. And again, using this stamp from Very Merry Tags and Cherry Cobbler ink, I shall stamp to and from with a simple gift tag. Now I'm going to switch stamp sets. I'm going to be using Warmth and Wonder, having used the little snowflake. I'm going to tackle using this cardinal. Now I'm going to be using the two marker pens, so that's the Cherry Cobbler and Gumball Green. Now Gumball Green was last year's in colour, so first I'll using the thick end, and you'll see that where the line is wider, that depicts that this is the brush end, and the finer line across the marker pen shows that that's the journaling end, so it's got a finer tip, whereas this tip is the brush end. Now let me explain about the markers. The inkwell is here, located here, so if you stand your pen upright, all the ink will sink to the bottom. So you need to store all your marker pens horizontally. So first we're going to ink up the holly leaf using the flat of my brush tip. Next I'll ink up the cardinal. Using the flat of the marker, and then you need to huff on it to re-moisten the ink and reactivate it. Then using the large oval punch, which is 2 inches by 1 3/8 inch, and with a scrap piece of Cherry Cobbler, I've punched out a Cherry Cobbler label using this decorative label punch. Then we need a dimensional, pop it on the back, and then another one to pop on there, and then you have another label.